What's up guys, Coach Az here. Today I want to give you 3 tips to increase your success in terms of your land rate with your spinning kicks. Spinning kicks are great techniques, they're powerful, they're showy, they're dynamic. The problem is it's a long technique. So in terms of from the point of view throwing it to the point of view landing it, a lot of things need to happen, and that gives your opponent a lot of opportunity to defend it. It's why it's so impressive when you see one land clean, because not only is the technique itself spectacular, but some work needs to go into setting it up so that the opportunity to land it is there. Here's 3 tips that you can take away and see if you can improve your accuracy and your timing on your spinning kicks. The first one is remove the exits. If I'm standing here with Anne and we're in the center of our area, Anne has got multiple exits to get away from the spinning kick. The biggest one being, and the most popular one, is just to go backwards. The second she sees me starting to rotate, she moves back and she gets herself out of range, of course. And also she can go to both angles. Now the most dangerous angle is obviously going to be that way to move towards the kick, but because she's got space behind her, she can still take that angle as long as she's going in a backward motion. So from here, she can go that way and get out of the kick. And of course, the easiest one is you can go back or just to the side and get away this way from the kick. So the first thing is using your space, being aware of your area and starting to remove exits. So this is where pressure comes into the situation. The ideal situation for throwing and landing a spin kick on someone is having them against the ropes, the cage, the edge of the area, whatever it may be. So for us, let's call this black line where the black meets the red, the edge. So now what have we removed? Well, we removed the rear exit, so she can no longer go that way to get away from my kick. So if I'm standing at the correct range and I throw it now, she only has one of a few choices. She can obviously block it, we can talk about that a little bit later, but in terms of getting herself out of the way, she obviously now can't go this way. If she goes this way, she's going to walk onto the kick. That's not what she wants. So now her solution is to come this way. So how do I get rid of that exit? Well, I set it up. I start trying to draw her to this direction. Now, in this situation, we're in an open stance, so I've got to think about what weapons I've got available to me. My back leg roundhouse would come round to this side. Oh, so this would cause her to start fearing going this way, walking onto that. The other weapon I have on this side is my straight arm cross. We all know that the battle of the cross when you're on an open stance is you want your front foot on the outside. So if she steps her foot that way, she moves off the line of my cross and she takes away from the power of it. So what I've done by starting to throw these techniques over this side, if I can get her in this position, is I start making her feel like the only room for escape is this way. She can't go backwards, she can't go this way because there's too many weapons. She goes out to what's considered the safe side, the outside of my power, and then from there, as she moves that side, just have that glove up as you move, she comes across, boom, and she walks into my spinning kick. Tip number 1 is remove the exit. Tip number 2 is cause paralysis. We really want to get our opponent to sit still for a moment, okay? That's the ideal situation. The pain in the butt when you're trying to spin kick someone is they tend to move out of the way of the technique. So if you wanted to hit someone in open space, this is where our fakes and our playing with the rhythm really come into play to set us up to land these spin kicks, okay? This is why you'll often see fighters using a switch of stance. So for example, Raymond Daniels is a great example of this. He likes to switch his base to then throw his spin kicks. He can throw them off both sides. For example, if he's right leg forward, he likes to do this. And what he does in that moment is he switches and he plants and he breaks the tempo of the fight. And often, whether we like it or not subconsciously, we end up mirroring our opponent. So there's a rhythm to the fight. We're both light on our feet moving, and suddenly the guy you're fighting does that, and they cause that pause in the motion. And that pause is the opportunity to spring load, boom, and shoot up into that spin kick. Now, if you're not so much of a bouncing fighter, you can still do this. You can still be throwing your combos and creating a rhythm with the fight. And then suddenly, there's this moment of pause in the fight, this moment of like a lull in the action. And it's caused by this flat-footed switch, boom, which we can then use to set us up into the spin kick, okay? As well as that, just think of basic fakes. The idea of just throwing a fake with the hand, causing the guard to come up, using that as a measuring stick, and then I know that I'm in range to come up and round with that spin kick and land it. The third and final one is, what we've done so far, we've removed the exits, we've caused some paralysis, is have a plan B. So this is where practicing and learning some variations of the kick become really useful and really important. Let's say you've tried it a few times. So you've tried it a few times, and let's say instead of moving out of the way, they just tend to be getting the block up each time. So every time I try and throw it, boom, she's getting her hand up there, she's defending. What I can again do is start causing her to focus that every time she thinks that spin's coming, she's lifting that arm up. Plan B is, I come underneath and I hit with the spin back kick. So as her guard comes up, I try to keep the kick the same all the way around to the point, and then boom, I shoot underneath with a spinning back kick instead of a spinning hook kick. So I'm setting it up. I'm working spinning hook kicks, boom, and drawing that guard upstairs, boom, and then suddenly, bang, I change up the game, I switch it up, and I come down underneath with the spinning back kick. Now, you might not even just be setting that up with spinning kicks. I might just be setting that up with head kicks. So I might just be throwing that head to the kid, getting her to go upstairs, shooting my hands, and then I come in underneath, shoot that spinning back kick to the body. So there you go, guys. Those are 3 tactics. Start putting them into your sparring, try to drill them, and see if you can get a bit more success landing those spin kicks. We'll see you on the next one.